So, for Chapter 5, Constitutional Principles. After reading this chapter, it mostly was talking about how the amendments uh, they affect the business, basically, how the amendments affect business. And the the amendment I really want to just talk about is the First Amendment. Because a lot of times, in certain cases, it's the First Amendment that is always brought up that their First Amendment rights are not being met. Which obviously the First Amendment is the freedom of speech, press, and freedom to assemble. And this brings me to our homework that we had due for this week, where these two twins of a high school were posting inappropriate content about girls and other people at their school. And they were suspended for, I believe it was 10 days, and then it was bumped up to 180 days. And they decided to appeal and say that their First Amendment rights were being taken away from them, which I didn't agree with. I didn't think that was a very good argument because based on the first or in the chapter, uh, if in schools, if the content or the things that are being said are causing a disruption in like a classroom, which in this case it was. Once people started finding out about the post, it started. Teachers weren't really able to control their classrooms because everybody was talking about this and it was causing an issue in the classroom, which, in my opinion, calls for them to get suspended for this long, which I believe they should have. And that's all I really got, like, like got out of chapter 5 was just understanding that the First Amendment is the biggest one that comes up in almost every case. Now for chapter 6, it's talking about white collar crime. And it talked about the most common white collar crimes, which were bribery, criminal fraud, larceny, and embezzlement. Now, what bribery is, it's the offering or giving of money or any object of significant value to influence a person. And what criminal fraud is, it's the use of any type of manipulation or misrepresentation, to gain an advantage over another party. Then larceny is a secretive way of depriving somebody of their property with the intent of permanently getting rid of their property. So I think most cases with larceny, it's always the burning down of an office building or such like acts like that, or damaging of property. Then there's embezzlement, which is the conversion of the property of another who is lawfully in possession. Now, this was the big topic that I got out of this chapter. I agreed that I could see bribery and fraud being the most common white collar crimes in the business world, because those are the ones you seem to always hear about. But it surprised me that larceny and or mostly just larceny was a very common one, because there's not many times where I see on the news that somebody's just went out and burnt down somebody's, like, purposefully burnt down somebody's property, or purposefully damaging somebody's property so that they can't get it back. Overall, they were good chapters. I got a lot of information out of it. It shed a lot of light on it. Helped me understand a little bit more about white collar crimes, mostly in chapter 6. Chapter 5 was just, I think it was just a refresher on the Constitution and how it comes into play in the business world. And thank you for watching.